Hello friends, Jennifer Pearson here. So it's time to do a deck interview, my 6-question deck interview with the Moonchild Tarot. So I kind of did some, I don't know what you'd call it, a mini gripe about some of the repetitive imagery in here. Now, when I got this deck, I didn't think I would be using it like a regular tarot deck. But what is unusual for me is that I got it without really having any idea quite how I would use it. I mean, if it had worked out that I got it in my hands and I thought, oh yes, I can use this as a regular tarot deck, that would have been fine. But that isn't the impression that I've had, and that's not a make or break it. It's not a disappointment. And so the mystery remains about why I'm attracted to this deck. So let's see if doing a deck interview will shed any light. So, question number 1, how would you describe yourself? Yep, it's a deck for meditation. That doesn't surprise me too much. 4 of Swords, or maybe to get clarity on intentions. That makes a lot of sense for this deck. Okay, this is where it is allowed to take a stab at me, just as I had my mini gripes about it. What is your opinion of me? Page of Cups. So that is a little bit of a jibe. That's kind of saying, well, you're just not spiritually mature. That's why you don't understand me, Jennifer. You haven't passed through the cosmic portal. So, you know, that's why you don't get me. That's how I would interpret that. So this deck is capable of doing tit for tat. What is one thing you ask of me? So what does the deck ask of me? 4 of Cups. So that could be a number of things. That could be to accept it and not to be petulant about it. Just go ahead and accept it. Perhaps even to work with it when I'm kind of not in the mood to work with it. Excuse me. And even just to plain old sit with it. So it's interesting that this is one of, this is one of my gripes that I had, was that we have these meditative, repetition of meditative imagery. But this, I think I had seen, was kind of a negative, where you're kind of stuck. So, but I still think that this is to sit with it. Which I have been. Part of the reason I did these 2 videos back to back about it is because I was feeling the call. It's like I need to really get that out and go through it again and take a look at the guidebook and start to get a feel for it. So I'm starting to abide by what it is asking of me. Number 4, how will you challenge me? Ace of Cups, very interesting. One thing that I kind of like about this deck is that it does seem to see the suit of cups, well, it probably sees all the suits as spiritual suits, as opposed to simply emotional. And so it may see, especially with this being what it asks of me, and this how it will challenge me. It might be saying, you know, when you're maybe down in the dumps, or you're feeling like you're in the doldrums or something, that's the time to pick up this deck, and it will challenge me to see things in a more spiritually or emotionally expansive, optimistic way, to see with these flowering roses here, to turn around and see the opportunities for growth and just the positive things that are going on around me in life. So that could be. So in other words, it's not really challenging me as a deck so much as it challenges me to see things in a positive light, maybe when I'm feeling a little bit shut down, or maybe a lot shut down for that matter. So what is the potential outcome of our time together? The Six of Swords. Now this is a tricky card because I don't know that it means the same thing as like a Rider-Waite-Smith Six of Swords. And here you see there's 5 swords up here, and the 6th is actually here inside of her. Certainly it could mean peace or a truce of some kind, but I may return to the guidebook for this, but we've got one more question, so let's just go ahead and answer that, and then I'll come back to this one. So what readings do you enjoy the most? So what kind of readings does this deck enjoy the most? Cosmic. It's the universe card. Seeing the universe inside yourself, holding the universe in your hands. So it wants me to see it as holding, this is the universe, this is the cosmic deck, and I'm holding it in my hands as I use it. And I assume that this would be also indicate like bigger questions, as opposed to, you know, should I go to the store today, or something along those lines, you know, or parsing out some sort of decision, you know, pros and cons or something like that, that it wants to see things in a more cosmic, spiritual way. So it wants to explore those kinds of questions. So let me look at the Six of Swords here again as the potential outcome of our time together. All right, so it says, a seeker wields a sword above her head, sourcing power from the cosmos. The standing stones and shifting waters behind her indicate a sacred journey of awakening. 4 suspended swords point towards her rational mind, while her veiled face indicates a lingering sadness. Here she connects with her own inner strength, emboldened by the sword at her heart. So there's this sword here. Has keywords travel, transition, release, reorientation, change. She has an interesting thing here in that she has, for every card, she has 2 questions and 2 affirmations. I haven't seen very many people show the guidebook. So this is sometimes this first part here is a description of the card, and sometimes it's more a meaning of the card. But then she has these keywords, and then 2 questions and 2 affirmations. And then on the other side, you know, about the card, and then a reversed meaning. So the inquiries are, how can I release the attachments that bind me? And am I ready to write a new chapter in my life? So I'm not sure that I feel like that has been fully answered for me. In terms of the potential outcome of our time together. Maybe just it'll be helpful through a transition. It says, I am ready to embark on this new journey. I release what no longer serves me. So some of this hints at letting this deck go, but I'm certainly not inclined to do that now without giving it some time, as in like a couple of years. It could be saying that the potential outcome of our time together is that this deck will be kind of a source of refuge, which strikes me as appropriate for the Six of Swords in more traditional meanings of the cards, of the Six of Swords. What does it say here? The Six of Swords highlights deep revolutions of transition and change. So maybe it feels like it's going to shepherd me through some cosmic consciousness changes here. And it has occurred to me as I've gone through this deck, if it could be seen actually, even though it has all of this Egyptian imagery in it. It does have, like, there's these stone circle kinds of imagery as well. Kind of a shamanic deck. I could see maybe using this, even the color palettes to some degree, with the Sacred Sites Tarot. I don't know about the Greenwood, but anyway, so it has struck me that it could be kind of a shamanic kind of deck also. Okay, revolutions of transition and change. These may involve actual travel or upcoming events that will open new doorways. As the light at the end of this journey may still be somewhat obscured, there may be an initial reluctance to move forward. Uncharted territory can often be frightening to navigate if you are unsure of how the future will unfold. Yet by taking this leap of faith, you may find that you will successfully relinquish certain energies or forces in your life that have held you back for far too long. As you keep on moving, you may begin to understand the advantage of letting things go as an evolutionary process, which further adds to the strength of your spirit. This is the ultimate rite of passage when we shed our layers and evolve into a wiser, softer, and more resilient being. So again, I see it kind of as a shepherd, being shepherded, which is, there's kind of that in a traditional Six of Swords. There's the boatman who's poling them across the water. So kind of shepherding a person through a sensitive transition. And the reversed meaning, just for the record here, although you know that change is inevitable and will likely lead to a more positive route, you may still be experiencing a blockage of energies, as if something is depleting your power. What can you shed or let go of in order to create more comfort and stability? A time to reroute these forces, a call for action and change. And the Six of Swords I generally see as a transition from conflict to, and perhaps danger, to peace and safety. So, interesting. In any case, this made some sense. I don't know that it tells me quite, like this is the kind of readings that it enjoys doing. I'm not even sure what those readings would be for me. So let me just ask, how should I use this? And here we have the King of Pentacles. It's almost me just enjoying its beauty. I can't imagine that this would work. It would work for work readings. Let me think for a minute here. Trying to think of a work-related question, and I'll flip another card. Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I'll be very general. What direction should I head in for my, let's see, what direction should I go in for financial stability? How about that? Well, and here we just have the Queen of Wands. Well, that's the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. I thought they were the same suit. But, so that's kind of interesting. Can mean various things to me. But it's not super, it's kind of, to me it's not super clear, so I wouldn't. Now let's take one more. Tell me about this Queen of Wands. And here we have the Lovers. So that, again, there could be various things, but I think that, again, I think that this much must mean something else. How will I work with it? Must be something else, because I feel like these are not giving super clear answers, like for employment, finance, occupation type thing for the King of Pentacles. So it could be that how I would use it would be another aspect of the King of Pentacles is what you value, and gathering to you what you value. So it could be asking questions of value, or getting in touch with what I value in the universe. It kind of surprised me that it would be the King of Pentacles coming up, because this is so cosmic and this is so earthy. But anyway, since I'm starting to cough again, I will let it go for now with this exploration. I felt like it was a pretty good deck interview. Nothing about it really put me off of the deck. So over time, I will continue to explore it, and we'll just see what happens. I don't feel at all stressed. I don't feel like I need to know now. Like I said, I could spend a couple of years with this deck and just take my time figuring out where it fits in terms of what I tend to explore with my decks. All right, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.